Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Silky Mittens and once again joined by Crafty Buckeye and Pawnox behind the caster's desk. We just finished game 1 between Notice Me Senpai and Fellowship of the Nerds. Pretty convincing win by Notice Me Senpai, having that hard engage comp like they like to run. The Annie surprise pick a little bit in the mid lane, still a OP champion. Definitely paying off for them in that game.
Now, yeah, very off-meta picks coming out for Hannah Patrell. I mean, last week we saw him pick the Kennen. This week he's picking up the Annie. And, I mean, he did double up on the Kennen last week, so I'm wondering if he's going to try and double up on this Annie again this week. But they do have the ban pulled out for it, so, I mean, they obviously recognize that was a huge threat there as he was able to 100-0 out Jay Frazier in that mid lane solo. Just with the one item there, so they're obviously recognizing that as a huge threat and banning out the Thresh as well for Impreza Boy. Pretty standard bans coming out from Notice Me Senpai there with the Bard. I mean, it's a targeted ban towards Chosegood, so same as before, but I do like this switch up in bans for Fellowship of the Nerds.
Yeah, pretty much expecting more of the same from Notice Me Senpai. They could go back to the Kennen pick easily. They do have Nautilus Hovered, still a great champion even in bot lane. Seeing it more top lane these days, but still a great champion top lane offering that CC. Like BBB likes to run. Likes to run those carry-centric top laners, but also liking to run the big tanks. We saw last game the Maokai, no problem there. Going back to Rek'Sai wouldn't be the worst choice by Henry, just definitely a lot of big plays, but also liking that Lee Sin. I know Bosgood loves Lee Sin too, so more or less taking that away, but the Elise is left open for Bosgood if he wants to take it, but two pretty strong picks if this Nautilus is locked in.
I think taking away Impreza Boy's Thresh and then picking the Braum is a great way to start this pick bans for Fellowship of the Nerds. They're going to look to counter that mid lane, hopefully not get countered as hard as we saw Annie just have huge presence in lane, out CS, out damage, out pretty much everything in the mid lane. I think that's going to be a huge lane for Jay Frazier to either play that Lulu or put on his carry pants and get a hard counter.
I do also like the Nautilus pick this early in the draft. I mean, they're really taking that one to the gym, showing some flex there. Able to throw that one to Impreza Boy and support. It's very similar to Thresh. I mean, you got the hooks and everything, so if you can have the Thresh mechanics, you can have the Nautilus mechanics there. So I do like that this early because I could also go to BB in the top lane.
So I really like this pick from Jay Frazier going with the Maokai. What Maokai really allows is targeted lockdown, and that's going to be huge against a Vayne. That's what Vayne hates. A point-and-click stun or any sort of CC is definitely the worst as a Vayne. You can dodge around with your tumble as much as you want, but if they can point and click on you, twist advance into maybe a Harabalo Braum or Chosgood Braum ult, that could be huge. They're probably going to pick up Jinx here. That doesn't take an Oracle to see that coming in. Hannah Patrell going back to the Kennen, so pretty much what we thought.
Yeah, so I mean, it seems like those are the only two real strong picks that we've seen where he's able just to do tons of damage there from him so far in this league. But I mean, if it's going to work for him, I mean, as well as, I mean, if that Maokai is going to go and he's going to be able to just pop the Slicing Maelstrom and just, zone everyone else out of there. So not going to be a lot of follow-up. So I do like the Kennen pick in the mid lane there for Hannah Patrell. It's going to really counter that hard engage that Fellowship of the Nerds might be hoping to have. The Anivia hover here, I think that's probably going to be a troll, but I mean,
Froggen?
Pretty worthy troll
Froggen?
there. I mean, unless his summoner switched to a TP in the mid lane, I doubt that one's going to be locked in. Yeah, so the Jinx obviously going to go in here, but I wonder what the mid laner is going to be to kind of counter this Kennen, because
Jay Frazier did play Anivia in the qualifiers, so it is something he plays, and it is locked in. Tristana, Anivia locked in the mid lane. I think Tristana is definitely the hyper carry Baby Trog likes to play, not the Jinx. Maybe switch it up. Didn't go so well last game, so maybe try that, a different AD carry there. But
yeah, looking for a little bit more safety in the Tristana. Still a hyper carry, not as much of a hyper carry per se as Jinx, but still able to hop around, get the Buster Shot as well to push people away if Kennen's coming close, maybe push him away. I do like Anivia in some team comps, really good against a Sivir team comp. The speed up team comp, that wall is actually huge, and I think that's totally underrated for that champion. Not sure about this team comp per se. Impreza Boy going to pick up the Rumble maybe for this last pick for BBB. Have seen him on that champion. You can't Anivia wall an Equalizer, and you can't Anivia wall the Flash Slicing Maelstrom from Hannah Patrell. Henry could be able to jump over that wall pretty easily as well. So you're really going to be only blocking out the bot lane with that Anivia wall. That's pretty much what Anivia is good at. It's just kind of the zone control with the ultimate and the wall, so Interesting pick.
Going to be offering some disengage here as well. I mean, just if they are going to build a Righteous Glory or something like that on that Nautilus, they're not going to be able to, just speed him down or anything. They're going to throw it on that wall. Running the TP in the mid lane, that's what I do like to see. Going to be hopefully going for some egg outplays here, whipping up some omelets hopefully from Jay Frazier. Yeah, so far the only outlier is going to be this Anivia. I'm really curious to see how that one pans out.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Maybe a little bit of a pocket pick. Jay Frazier practicing that one up, keeping it for a rainy day, and this is that day. Down 0-1 in this series. This is going to be the last time until playoffs that these guys have a chance to play Notice Me Senpai. Going to definitely try to show what they're made of. Not really showing it. It was a pretty huge snowball in the first game. Once an Annie gets ahead, once a Vayne gets to late game with items and the score like Team Maya had, it's pretty much game over. It's really, really tough to come back from that one. Kudos to them for sticking around, trying to make plays, but just not having too big of a lead on the side of Notice Me Senpai to come back. So definitely going to be looking for a better game from Fellowship of the Nerds this time around.
Absolutely, and that Rumble being picked up there for BB. So far, I do like both comps. I mean, we're obviously going to see which one can get ahead again, just like in the last game with bot lane, just because it's very AD-centric teams here. But, yeah, so far so good. I think we're going to take a short break here. We're going to play a couple ads for you guys, and then we'll be right back on the Rift with Fellowship of the Nerds versus Notice Me Senpai. So don't go anywhere, guys.
Damage, except for talent, negating a lot of it. We do see them re-engage. The Glacial Creature yet is used. Can they pop like concussive blows? No. But Baby Truck coming back out with a lot of damage. Geek Harbinger is popped. The crits are flying. The double kill is picked up. He's still chasing down Super Mega Death Rock. Gonna pick up the third kill. Another kill onto Huntail. Damage is down. The quadra kill. I want to see them die.
One-man push in the mid lane. I think they are going to get this tower for their first tower of the game.
Unfriendly Passion looking for the 1v4, the 1v5. He comes and goes. And the Emperor's Divide is huge with the disengage. Flashes out, and he might get out of this. That was a gigantic ult from Azir. Yeah, now just waiting on his team members. Babe goes out, knocking up the rest of the team. Tempered Fate. The Mumu goes in with a tower. A ton of damage coming out. And this is the team that we were talking about. Baby Shark barely escaping. Harbo in the backline. He does have. But I don't know if he'll be able to one thing too. The gank coming in from Cletus Cassie, but she's very low. Dunkbuster hooks her back in and dunks her, gets the kill. Ragnarok is popped there for Olaf, but Darius is looking. Oh! The Azir soldiers coming in for the save. Picks up the kill onto Similodon. The Impale does come out from Wheelan as he drags Hansonyu under the tower, and that might have been enough as Hansonyu is very low. Oh! The Super Mega Death Rocket from the bot lane comes up for I'm a big tough guy.
Breathe me into the light. Slowly heal the darkness in my heart. I hear you now. A taste was all I needed. I feel your love, loud and clear to the end. It's you and me. I'll follow you to the end. I'll follow you to the end.
Welcome back. We got game 2 between Fellowship of the Nerds and Notice Me Senpai. On the blue side, we have Fellowship of the Nerds with the goalkeeper Maokai in the top lane, played by that Harablo. And Elise coming out again by Bozgod. Jay Frazier bringing out his Anivia. Baby Trog playing Tristana. and Chosgood bringing in the Braum once again.
And then on the red side, we have Notice Me Senpai with BB playing that Super Galaxy Rumble in the top lane. Henry playing the Muay Thai Lee Sin. Hannah Petrel playing that Kennen in the mid lane. Team Maya playing some Vayne as well as Impreza Boy on Abyssal Nautilus on support. So again, so far, I mean, if we take a look at Fellowship of the Nerds, I mean, they got some mastery points put into those champions. Lots of time, obviously played, a lot of hours logged on those champions. A lot of solo queue grinded. So looks like they're obviously going to be on some comfort picks here versus the Notice Me Senpai.
I think Fellowship of the Nerds just only plays champions that they have mastery on because they love to flaunt it so much. Not so much last game when they were behind, but at the start of the game they like to show that swag. When they make a big play, these guys definitely can show their mastery. Definitely looking for that this game. It'll be interesting to see. We talked about it a little bit in Champ Select. Jay Frazier on this Anivia for the first time in the regular season. Pretty much the only one in the last 3 weeks of SKL, even qualifiers, I think, to have played that. Ooh, we see a little bit of...
They are coming. They are coming.
They are coming. Baby Trog, Jay Frazier having that. Obviously pointing towards a new champ. Kindred, just revealed today. Pretty hype. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. Interesting. Jungle Marksman. Should add a little bit of flavor to the Rift.
I'm pretty excited about the champion myself. I mean, I'm a big fan of, messing up the meta a little bit. That's why I really like the Mordekaiser move to the bot lane. Even though he's pretty gross right now, I do like just, kind of random things being put anywhere. So it looks like a double invade here as they go with a 4-man squad roaming in onto that blue buff. They do catch Hannah Petrel with the Q from the Braum. Are they going to be able to get the stacks as the stun just missing? Forcing the flash from Hannah Petrel, though. But it looks like the rest of Notice Me Senpai is kind of running back up to help his team out.
Yeah, that Flash Frost from the Anivia, just too slow-moving of a projectile to get the stun onto Hannah Petrel. A little bit of the same of last game. Hannah Petrel was that hidden stealthy ward for his team. Definitely got a lot of information for that level 1 start. Not going to get the same kind of start this game around, as Fellowship of the Nerds being a little bit more cautious. Not going to get 3 buff or anything like that. So should be good. It looks like a double jungle to start the game as well for both teams.
Yeah, pretty standard starts coming out for both sides here, as the Maokai's going to be throwing down some saplings. Whether he's going to give that camp over to the Anivia, though, that's going to be another story. I mean, she did start the stun, so I don't really think she'll be able to take the full camp with that. But it looks like, yeah, Maokai's just going to take the camp himself, teleport to the top lane, not going to double jungle with the Elise here quite yet, unless they meet up with the red buff. But Hannah Petrel throwing down some shurikens here right off the bat, hoping to get some early harass here, level 1.
This is going to be a tough matchup for Jay Frazier on Anivia pre-6. Until she can get the Glacial Storm to proc the passive for the Frostbite for the E. If you guys don't know, if Anivia lands the Flash Frost, which is the Q, with the Glacial Storm, which is the ultimate, extra damage onto the E, that's what she'll be looking for in trade. But I think Kennen just a little bit too fast, zipping around. Going to be hard to land that Q onto him by Jay Frazier.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Anivia's abilities are very readable is the problem with the champion right now, especially against a Kennen who can just kind of lightning zip all over the place. So that's going to be something they're going to have to really focus on. Hopefully do some more team fighting centric ones. Nice hook there from Impreza Boy on the bot lane, though.
Baby Trog gonna get hooked up. Team Mai gonna get 3 stacks on the Silver Bolts. Gonna proc that a ton of damage. The pot gonna be used by Baby Trog. Gonna bring him about to 3/4 health by the end of that one. The pot being used onto Nautilus and to Impreza Boy as well. Ignite being taken. It's definitely something to look out for. Trog's good taking Exhaust. It's going to be a bit scary for Baby Trog if a Condemn against the wall comes out, because there's a lot of CC that Nautilus has to offer.
No, really looking for the kill pressure here with that Nautilus. I mean, they just have a lot of damage. I mean, Nautilus, he does put out quite a bit just with that Riptide, as well as the passive proc there with that first auto getting the snare. So he's going to have a lot of damage that you don't really expect. But, I mean, I think we're going to have to see where the junglers decide to go, because they're both very early kind of pressure junglers with that Lee Sin, with that Elise. So I'm expecting some very early ganks here after they kind of get some their camps taken and some vision put down right off the start here. So get some information. But Hannah Petrel really pushing in Jay Frazier to his own tower here. So not a real opportunity for Hardblow to kind of, or Henry, sorry, to kind of come in. But what was good? Getting caught here by Henry.
The Q gonna miss. The flash gonna be there. The Iron Will hopping over the wall. Bozgood gonna live just barely. Henry sneaking around in the jungle still. Gonna throw out another Q, just trying to find it blind, but not gonna get it. That's gonna be a back from Bosgood, but that is a good summoner flash for Henry onto Bosgood. The flash not gonna be available for Elise. That's gonna be huge, affecting her early pressure.
Oh yeah, Kennen, we can see pulling ahead here ever so slightly, 8 CS up now. Whether that's going to keep creeping ahead is, you know, what we're going to have to end up seeing here. But I would give this lane towards Hannah Petrell. I mean, it's obviously a champion he's played a lot, is very comfortable on. And the Anivia just not in quite a good place in terms of power spikes here. Really having to stack up, get that tier, get some real mana so she can keep that ultimate going for quite a while. But as well as in the bot lane, just with how Team Maya played last time, they're going to have to be very careful. I do like the Tristana pick into it a little bit more, giving it some more kind of trade potential, as well as having the same tower-taking ability as the Jinx, but also giving it some good mobility. But wow, Hannah Petrell doing a lot of damage as the Ignite comes out.
Gonna pop the egg, though. Gonna live after that one. So that's the Ignite down on Hannah Petrell. Still pretty big to get down that egg, considering that Jay Frazier actually picking up the exhaust. Had to teleport to start, but there's a gank in the bot lane. The Cocoon gonna land onto Impreza Boy. Gonna retreat from that one. A gank from in the mid lane as well. The exhaust on Hannah Petrell might go down, but we're going back to the bot lane. Anivia picking up first blood, even after a gank from Henry. The damage too much. Gonna land the Flash Frost. Ooh, that Sonic Wave just barely missing by Henry. Jay Frazier picking up a kill for himself, despite the gank from Henry.
No, yeah, Hannah Petrell maybe just going a little too hard there. Maybe thinking he had a little more backup than initially decided. I mean, he's still sitting on that Hunter's Machete, not a huge amount of damage coming out from this Lee Sin quite yet, as well as still only, he was level 3 at the time, so just kind of had basic abilities at that point, so still waiting on some items here to get some damage out.
I'm not sure, as we see BBB go in on Arbor in the top lane here, but I'm not sure if Hand of Petrell used his Ignite completely forgetting about Anivia passive, or if he meant to use it to get him into the egg, because I feel like he wishes he had that Ignite in that last fight with the gank there.
Definitely, but if you don't Ignite there, you don't pop the Anivia passive, so it's kind of give or take. You either use the Ignite to pop the passive, or you use the Ignite to get the kill. But you can't get the kill later if you don't pop the passive anyways, so gonna kind of pick and choose in that regards. But not respecting the damage, I think, was a big thing onto Anivia. Can pump out a lot. If you land that QE combo, you're putting out a ton of damage. Hannah Petrell going down with the exhaust too is a pretty good spell on the likes of Anivia and Karthus and stuff, so just underestimating the damage that Jay Frazier can put out.
Absolutely, Jay Frazier hitting 6 here before Hannah Petrell, but Bo is good. Going in, landed the Cocoon on BB.
Yeah, Bo's gonna have the % health damage. The Equalizer is gonna go down onto both of them. They're gonna run away from that one. The Repel gonna be used to run away from this. The Flash gonna be used by BBB. A Flash again by Harablo. Not gonna get the slow from the Arcane Smash. Bosgood looking for the Cocoon. Gonna get it. Gonna pick up the kill is Harablo. Gonna pick up that one for himself. 2-0 now. Great start for Fellowship of the Nerds. Really showing what they're made of. Forgetting about last game. The Frostbite used before the Glacial Storm there. Not going to maximize the damage from Anivia, but he's got the mastery, so yeah, it's just a warning shot. Stay away, punk.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Rumble almost turning that around in the top lane there. Harblow getting very, very low, but yeah, I mean, obviously knowing this Rumble champion very well, we do see 2 MR items coming out here, so it looks like they might both be going for the Abyssal Scepter. I mean, kind of lacking some communication there, as the aura doesn't stack or anything. So I mean, building for the lane, yes, that's a good idea. But in terms of grand scheme of things, going to the 5v5, not the most efficient thing you can do.
I think it would be better. I think this is the same thing they did last time, but I honestly agree. I think Blake brought this up last time, where they go Void Staff and Abyssal Scepter. One of them goes Void Staff, one of them goes Abyssal Scepter. Then it would reduce the MR while it's already being like reduced. Like it just makes sense.
Right, Void Staff able to give a lot as well of penetration. But the double Negatron, they might just sit on that. I think they're just worried about the lane for now, kind of getting bullied out. Not sure about the Rumble first item pickup. Maokai does a lot of damage, but so does Rumble, so maybe would have liked to see the Haunting Guys come out, which you often do see. So that early kind of rush maybe could have went towards something else, but we'll see if it pays off for him.
The Haunting Guys also does give health when you build it too, so I mean, it's going to offer some defensive stats, as well as it's a very good core item on Rumble. It's going to offer the penetration, as well as just a slow burn once you get that fully built there up until the Leandries. So I do like that build path a lot better than this one that he just seems to be going with. But I mean, he's got the mastery, I don't. So I mean, we're not gonna question that one too much further. But gonna have to see how that one pans out later into this game here.
Right. I do want to point out, mastery doesn't mean everything, right? Bronze 5 player could play a bunch of games on Lee Sin and still be trash. But not that these guys are. Just want to point that out. Mastery doesn't mean everything. Not a free pass to being a challenger or anything like that. So
You know who you're talking to.
I know. Baby Trog and Chazgood looking just to fight back, get the farm where they can. Not down too much, 80-89 against the pressure that Impreza Boy is able to pump out, along with the damage from Vayne. Not too great in lane, but we do have a gank at the top side. Henry's going to try and answer. BBB is going to throw down the equalizer. Harablo's out of mana. Bosgood going to Spider Form, going to look for some damage. Now going to turn back on a BBB, going to take him down eventually. No, living with a sliver of health. That shield going to allow him to live. Bosgood trying to find a little bit more damage. Just barely. The Flame Spirit and the shield going to go out again. The kill going to be picked up for Bosgood. Going to pick up BBB eventually. In the bot lane, Impreza Boy is going to look for some action. Chazgood going to land the stun on Impreza Boy. Going to use the Unbreakable to keep Baby Trog safe from any damage that TeamAz going to be able to pump out. Hectic fight. And really was outstanding that BBB was able to live as long as she did. Bait out Bosgood. Bosgood sticking around trying to get that kill, but eventually going down to Henry. That was just unfortunate. And Harablo running out of mana in that fight was really what caused that to go the way it did.
Yeah, BB showing a lot of tenacity there, staying alive for as long as he did. But nice hook there from Impreza Boy onto Baby Trog. I mean, still having those thresh mechanics on point. Jay Frazier, he did roam up to that top lane in order to try and maybe clean that up. Didn't really find a lot, so I mean, he could have probably tried to stay in there. The thing that I'm pretty impressed about is Jay Frazier, even with the Anivia, he's staying very close in farm to the Kennen, who you'd think would have an easier time in lane, just able to farm, not having mana or anything, just using the energy. But Bo is good, trying to make an appearance here.
Yeah, the Glacial Fissure is going to go out, the Repel as well to get onto Impreza Boy. Team Maya's got the explosive charge on her. We can be able to stealth away from that one. Too much damage coming out onto Impreza Boy. The exhaust and the concussive blows are stacking onto Team Maya. The flash going to come out. The heal on Team Maya as well. Too much damage going to come out in the end. Baby Trog going to pick up that one. Henry going to go in on Jay Frazier. Going to live. And then popping the mastery as well. The rebirth passive is there, so Jay Frazier would have even died. The Lee Syndrome just too strong there. Jay Frazier sticking around, can afford to because that's that rebirth passive. But yeah, Lee Syndrome can get you. Doesn't matter who you are.
Oh, Hannah Petrell going hard there, popping the egg there finally. But wow, that was a great play from Jay Frazier onto Henry. I mean, Henry may be overestimating their damage between him and Hannah Petrell, or even the follow-up from Hannah Petrell, as he did go pretty hard under that tower, but 2-0 so far onto his Anivia, doing pretty well for himself there, so I do like the way that's going right now.
Yeah, we're going to see Lee Sin also be forced to pick up, I should say, a Cinder Hulk in this one. The damage is too much from the likes of Jay Frazier, Bosgood, and Harablo. Going to want to get a little bit more tanky on that Lee Sin. Lee Sins do like to pump out early pressure, but at this stage in the game, the way it's gone, 13 minutes, it's really more beneficial to go tankier. They are going to pick up a dragon here. Going to be uncontested. Bosgood in the top side of the map. Just the first dragon in the game. Not too big of a deal. Unlike last game, Fellowship of the Nerds actually has an objective for themselves this point in the game, so they're actually feeling pretty good.
I think Fellowship of the Nerds is really going to have to take this lead that they have right now and translate it into getting more CS. Like, that's the only reason that Notice Me Senpai is in the game right now. They're leading CS in every solo lane right now. Every lane is leading in CS.
Even the jungle.
Yeah, even the jungle actually. So they're gonna need to catch back up in CS, and then I think they could just snowball that lead into a victory potentially.
Yeah, they do have their CS lead resulting from the favorable lane matchups, but it's really been the junglers. Bosgood's been able to put a lot of pressure on these solo lanes. Been top, been bottom, been mid even. Jay Frazier actually kind of doing some solo work in that regard. The Crystallize is going to keep anyone from coming in, but Impreza Boy decides to go in, immediately regretting that decision, flashing out of that one. Nope, don't want any of that, and they're going to rotate, it looks like, towards the top side maybe, trying to pick up the tier 1. The Death Charge is going to go on to Baby Trog, maybe a little lack of communication. Guys? Team? Hello?
Yeah.
Anyone?
No,
Darshan?
Impreza Boy realizing that's not a thresh hook he's throwing out there, it's a Nautilus hook, so he's going with that one. But oh wow, huge
The equalizer coming down on the slicing maelstrom. There's a couple members going to go down right away. Bosgood and Babytron going to find themselves looking at a gray screen. Jay Frazier not going to have that passive available. Going to go down. Double kill for BBB, and that is going to be another kill for Notice Me Senpai. 4 kills for none. That was a great initiate, staying a little bit too long, not having side ward coverage for Fellowship of the Nerds. Definitely regretting staying that long.
What a great Rumble ultimate there. Laid it down and just had them cooking the whole time.
Yeah, the red carpet layout there from BB, followed up with that great ultimate from Hand Patrol, catching on so many members there. And the damage is just absurd as he does finish up the Abyssal Scepter there. BB still working away, finishing up his right now, and they're going to get so much out of that, so many kills and just objectives. And they do pull ahead in the gold lead just after that one fight. Just picked up so much off of them there. But Bosgood not wanting to end it there.
Yeah, going to be a big cocoon landed by Bosgood. Henry is going to find himself in some trouble too. The explosive charge going to take him down. That's double kill back over to Baby Trog. And now the gold lead is back in Fellowship of the Nerds' favor. A little bit of back and forth overstaying on both sides.
Both teams just
Getting
staying
greedy.
a little too long and maybe just, getting greedy, exactly.
And now they might trade for a tier 2 back.
Hopefully they don't
But
stay
maybe
too
they
long.
stay
this
too long.
time. Yeah.
They do have all 5 members learning from last time. Going to pick up some wards on either side for them as well. Definitely learning from their mistakes. Good to see. And it looks like they're going to pick this one up for free. Doesn't look like there's going to be an answer from this one as Team Maya is in the top lane just farming, pushing the wave.
Pretty extended though, as I do say so.
Yeah, realizing that and going to back right now. That's going to be a red buff going to Baby Trog in the enemy jungle. They're going to rotate up top now. Probably just look for this tier 1. They know that Team Maya has probably gone back by now, so they're just looking to pick up ward coverage and setting their eyes on their next objective.
Yeah, the wave's not really in their favor, though, to really rotate onto anything too quickly here. They do have that one pushed back, so they're going to just slow push that one up with the whole team. But it doesn't really look like Notice Me Senpai wants to answer that one, so they might just give this turret up for free, as well as they might just leave BB to go in that bot lane and push that one himself. But they might try and just fast push down this mid lane.
Base race?
Base race? But,
Question mark?
questionable just in terms of lane waves and stuff. There's just no waves in the perfect positions to kind of push any of that. So you do get that outer turret there in the top lane. Team Maya hoping to defend this one by himself, but I mean, he might need some support as he might get dove here. That's with the amount of CC they do have. Nothing quite sticks there, but the wall, just going a little short there.
Yeah, opting for the side other 2 lane wave control is Notice Me Senpai, but not expecting them to keep pushing and get the tier 2 as well. We do see the tier 1 in the bot lane go down, or BBB able to pick that one up. It does have the teleport available. They were opting to give up the pressure in one lane to put pressure on the other 2 lanes, but they just weren't foreseeing the damage that Baby Trog can put on these towers, and that cost them 2 towers. So definitely misplayed by Notice Me Senpai, getting out-rotated there. Didn't eat their rotatos this morning, and obviously Fellowship of the Nerds showing definitely better results this game.
No, for sure. I do like the rotation and just strategic play from Fellowship of the Nerds much better this game than last game. They're really just roaming as 5 here, picking up a lot of turrets, fast pushing with their AD carry, which, I mean, last game they had the Jinx who could do it just as well. They just didn't really think about it, and they got too far behind in that mid game, so they weren't able to kind of follow up. This time they did have the advantage in the mid game, so they decided to kind of follow up on those rotations. The Tristana getting very far ahead, 3-1 right now, and quite a bit of CS. Vayne up a little bit of CS, but I mean the kills do equal that out in the favor of the Tristana.
I think I like to pick Maokai a lot better than the Malphite in this game. In comparison to game 1, it's a point-click stun on the Vayne, as we talked about in pick draft, and it's a large damage reduction for the rest of the carry.
Henry picking up the Scuttle, definitely worth going in and getting that one. Even though there's 3 members there, able to safeguard out of harm's way. The Dragon is live in 35 seconds. The Baron going to come up pretty soon too. Spawning for the first time in 20 minutes. Going to be looking towards his Dragon. This is something I would like to see Fellowship of the Nerds fight for. The TP is available from Harablo. Pushing top is going to be pretty beneficial for them. Going to get that wave pushing in onto the inhibitor, or the inhibitor turret of Notice Me Senpai. Going to be pretty huge in the top lane. BBB just opting to walk down here. Does have TP available as well. Could have been up to answer the Maokai push, but it now looks like Harablo's just going to walk down instead. Save that TP, realizing that BB is not going to work.
Yeah, that pink ward's paying off though a lot as they're going to get all the wards cleared out of here. And Fellowship is going to keep dropping them in, but Notice Senpai just going to keep clearing them out. Everyone just kind of on edge here, so who's going to pull the trigger?
Impressive Boy's going to pull the trigger. He's going to anchor in. The Equalizer going down, as well as the Slicing Maelstrom is huge. Harablo going to be in the middle of that one. Going to take that one down. He's too tanky to kill. BBB still has the Flame Spitter going. Henry in the back of this one. Team Maya untouched. Going to be able to pump out lots of damage. Definitely a misplay by that to let him live for so long. Henry going to be chasing down Bosgood in the backside. Jay Frazier has the egg pops. Baby Chalk going to get hooked up. Going to go down at the end of this one. The Condemn actually going to push Jay Frazier away, but eventually going to go down to BBB. Baby Chog actually going to live through that one, even though getting hooked up and then stunned. Impreza Boy going to take a little bit of damage. Maybe looking for a reinitiation. Bosgood better watch himself. Team Maya, they do have a ward in that bush. They can see. Impreza Boy lands a hook. It could spell the end for Baby Chog. Going to flash away from that one. Save his life there. All summoners used by pretty much everyone. Haralbo still having his available. The TP could come in to try and save this, as these members are pretty low.
I think the key to that fight there was the fact that they had the vision down. They had no vision on the side of Fellowship of the Nerds to see where they were. They just had to walk into a blind bush and initiated from the hook and just went 3 for 2, I think that fight went. Oh, 3 for 4? 3 for 2.
3 for 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, Notice Me Senpai had a lot better prep going into that dragon than Fellowship of the Nerds did, so they were able to really capitalize on the positioning that they had. Hand of Betrayal, again, landing a very huge ultimate. The members he didn't catch, he ended up zoning out pretty hard there, so the backline was able to just move up very well with Team Maya, able to put out a lot of damage. He's only 1-1-3 right now, but the amount of damage he put in that team fight was huge. So they're going to use that, but it looks like Fellowship of the Nerds is going to do a very risky Baron here, but I mean, they did time the recall very well from Notice Me Senpai. No one's really realizing that they're on this. They have true vision.
There is no vision at all for Notice Me Senpai. Looks like Present Boy is just going to pop a ward there at the end. Ooh, just being taken by Baby Trog. The Equalizer coming down, a little bit scary. No smite from Bosgood on that one to secure it, but fortunately Baby Trog doing a little bit more damage all at once than the Equalizer will do. A little bit scary. That almost went. That would have been very bad for Fellowship.
Could have been very bad, but ended up being a great shot call for Fellowship of the Nerds as to get the Baron. They're down 2 dragons to none, so that Baron is probably going to pay off for them as they might even look to push down a couple. They have 2 open inhibitor turrets. They have 2 inhibitor turrets open right now, so they can push down mid or top.
Yeah, definitely going for more of like a TSM-oriented strategy like we see in the LCS. TSM opting to give up dragons for other things around the map, which is what we're seeing Fellowship of the Nerds largely do. You have the Baron for themselves, able to push down towers very fast with this Tristana. Explosive charge is huge. The one thing that Fellowship of the Nerds is lacking, engage. They really have no engage other than the Glacial Fissure from Braum, unless Maokai is going to be Righteous Glorying right into the middle of the team. It's going to be pretty tough unless he can teleport behind someone. He's not really going to find him, so it's going to be hard for them to get the initiations. Stand around 5v5, definitely in the favor, regardless of the minuscule lead that Fellowship of the Nerds had. It's going to be in the favor of Notice Me Senpai.
There's a Nivea just doing so much AoE damage as well. I do like the Locket going towards there for Impreza Boy. I mean, that's going to be huge just in terms of that Nivea's AoE stun, her ultimate, as well as just the Maokai as well, too. Like we were saying last game, he does have, an unexpected amount of AP damage, even though he's building full tank. So, again, very smart build pass from Notice Me Senpai as they did have last game. But Baby Chaw is going to try 1v1 Team Maya, and he does it! Holy cow, that was a huge amount of damage coming in there from Baby Trog, getting the satchel explosive charge to just pop him right there.
He is 5-1 now, so he is looking to do what Fellowship of the Nerds usually like to do and put the carry pants on Baby Trog.
That was kind of like a gentleman's duel there. They both kind of just stood there and just pounded away. It's like, you move, no you move. A little bit of a game of chicken. And Baby Trog definitely coming on top of that one. The 2 items, i.e. Phantom Dancer, just straight up beating on a Phantom Dancer Bork is probably going to go in the way if he gets some favorable crits towards the i.e. Phantom Dancer, along with the explosive charge. So, not too much of a chance for Team Maya there without the ulti. Chaw's going to flash the Glacial Fissure, but going to hook away pretty nicely as Impreza Boy. Taking down the tier 2 now, no outer turrets remaining, just the inhibitor turrets, and Baby Chaw's going to look to pound some damage. The Riptide not going to be able to dissuade too much. Now they're going to back. They do have the split push going from Harablo in the top lane. The Cocoon landing on Henry. Not going to engage yet. Harablo just pushing up with these minions in the top side. They both have TP. Maybe look see Harablo's suicide to stop the TP from BBB again. Who knows? Anything can happen at this point.
So far, Fellowship of the Nerds using that Baron buff very well, taking some outer turrets, opening up the map very well. So right now, it looks like Notice Me Senpai is kind of clustered in their base, as there's no real vision pushing out of that, except for around the Baron area there. But it looks like they can set up very well for this Dragon when that does come up in 2 minutes here. But they're going to back, get their items. So they got the Baron, got some towers, got some objectives out of that. So good on them. They really used that well rather than kind of just sitting on it and denying it of Notice Me Senpai. They used it themselves.
And they have the right waves pushed at this point, I think. And using their tower advantage, 6-3 at this point, getting lots of global gold. And I think that's pretty much the difference in the game. A couple kills and a couple towers is really what's separating them at this point.
Definitely a better early game than the last game. Really snowballed out of control, really out of their hands near the mid-game point of last game. Really not much they could do against a Fed Annie and a Fed Vayne. But this game, taking it into their own hands, we do see the Zanya's picked up as well onto Hannah Petrel. Going to be huge for his initiation. It's going to be even scarier. He's going to be able to get in and survive as well with that slicing Maelstrom. It's going to be even harder in these team fights if they do get a true 5v5 for Fellowship of the Nerds, but definitely going to be looking towards rotations and picks for them and getting favorable trades as well.
So I think the real telltale of this is that the Team Maya did not get super far ahead at the start of this game, so they were able to deny the bot lane very well, and they were able to get their own very, snowballed here as Baby Trog is very, very far ahead, so they're going to be able to siege extremely well. The only thing that Notice Me Senpai kind of has going for them is those 5v5 team fights with Panda Petrel getting some great ultimates off here. So that's going to be the telltale of who's going to finish this game out here, whether they can siege or whether they get the team fight. So
Panda Petrel and BBB have had a couple of great, they combo those ults so well together, and then Team Maya, even though she's not, I just see a
yeah, Cocoon landing onto a Present Boy. He's going to go down. Doesn't have any armor. Going to go down to Baby Trog. Another kill, 6-1 and 2 onto the Tristana. Getting pretty huge. Going for that Bloodthirster third item. Doesn't need a Last Whisper when no one has armor except for the mid laner. Even Lee Sin doesn't have any armor. Going for the Banshees early. Really respecting the damage from Jay Frazier, as well as the other two magic damage threats in Bozgood and Harablo on Elise and Maokai. Now we're just going to look up Siege. This one is going to be pretty easy without any sort of engage. Team Maya gonna take some damage. And it looks like it's gonna be the first inhibitor. Kaboom landing onto Henry. The Buster Shot gonna come out on Hannah Petrel, gonna dissuade any further engage. Kind of a whiff on the Glacial Fissure. Henry gonna push Bosgood right into the middle of that one. Baby Trog gonna find himself safe. Gonna jump out of that one. And Present Boy, the Depth Charge gonna go out onto Baby Trog. A lot of members are low for Fellowship of the Nerds. That's 3 down already. Baby Trog's gonna be next. Hannah Petrel still alive. Henry gonna go back in. Whoa! But the explosive charge gonna get 2 kills for Baby Trog, maybe saving them from losing any objectives.
What?
The Lee Syndrome gonna come in to try and clean KS that kill at the end, and it cost him his life. That's 3-5. And wow, what a scattered fight that was. Really good plays by Henry there to insect Baby Trog into the middle, pretty much, of Notice Me Senpai. But once again, a huge engage from Hannah Petrel and BBB.
do not forget that explosive charge does scale as well. It does do damage later on in this game. So yeah, really underestimating the amount of damage that would do. Gonna get a double kill there at the end of the fight for the Tristana. Now 9-2-2 after that fact. As well as, I mean, they still do have the waves pushed in their favor. Nobody was able to kind of go on that, but they're gonna pick up another dragon, which is very good in terms of kind of scaling later into this game for Notice Me Senpai. 3-0 now. But I mean, still in terms of just total map objectives, just a lot more in the favor of Fellowship of the Nerds, minus those dragons. So it looks like everyone's going to try and set up for this Baron right now, as it is live once again. So Cho's good, just going to be clearing out some vision here, as well as Harblow. Looks like Fellowship of the Nerds kind of got the positional advantage here on this right side of the river.
I think in that last fight, it was pretty key that they didn't get the inhibitor, but Team Maya able to pick up a couple kills, helped her out a lot there, and she got a large CS lead on Baby Trog, so pretty key.
Another big thing about that fight was Chosgood's whiffed Glacial Fissure, really not disengaging anything or putting any kind of disruption onto anyone, shooting it right towards that inhibitor. No one standing there, parting the Red Sea, thought he was Moses. A little bit of identity crisis for Chosgood. Forgot who it was there. But missing that pretty key ultimate. That's really one of the big things. Jay Fraser's wall, as well as Chosgood's Glacial Fissure, is what you really need for a big disengage. Chosgood, of course, has a cocoon to land onto Hannah Petrel, and we also saw the Buster Shot from Baby Trog used a little bit prematurely when Hannah Petrel just walked remotely close. But it looks like they're looking for the engage. The right score is popped. Winter's bike and land onto Impressive Boy. Not the number they wanted on. Only going to land the Glacial Fissure onto him. Team Maya's pretty much sitting there untouched. Impressive Boy might go down, but it's going to be worth it. Harablo is going to take a lot of damage. The Equalizer is going to go. Not going to go down eventually. The Damn going to land onto Bosgood. The Flame Spitter over the wall. Henry's going to hop away from that one, and that is actually a really good catch for Notice Me Senpai. Not going to lose anyone.
Yeah, again, but the waves are pushed pretty into the favor of Fellowship of the Nerds here, except in that mid lane, but I mean, that is going to help them in getting in terms of position around that Baron, having the waves pushed in their favors there, as well as it's going to create some pressure in that bot lane, as it looks like it's going to be pushing more in their favor. The waves are going to reset there, so it might start pushing away from it, but so far, they're going to have to kind of focus on this side wave control for Notice Me Senpai if they're going to want to get any kind of positioning onto these objectives.
I think a key to this next fight is that Rumble does not have TP up now. I think if Elise was able to not get condemned by the Vayne and not get caught, then they would have burned that TP and had the TP advantage in the next fight. Could have helped them put that Maokai on the other side of the map, TP in, and get that backside engage on the Vayne, but it's still up for a next fight.
We do see itemization issues actually come out for Bozgood. He's forced to go that Spirit Visage due to the huge wombo from the Rumble and Kennen combination, but then that leaves Team Maya pretty much teeing off in the back line. There's zero, we're talking about zero armor on the side of Notice Me Senpai. There is literally zero armor on the side of Fellowship of the Nerds, and that's going to be scary. You know, pretty much no kills for Team Maya 3 minutes ago, and now 5-2-5, not too shabby. Picking up some items, picking up the last Whisper now, it's going to be even scarier.
This happened last game too. Nobody's itemizing for Team Maya, even though he's one of the most fed members on the team. Everyone's going for Hannah Petrel, wanting to cheer that Kenneth, going for the Rumble. So I'm wondering if that's almost a strategy, putting so much AP on the team that they have to build for that, versus going for Team Maya, who's going to be the true carry, just exactly like you said, teeing off in that back line. 5-2-5 now, sitting on the core items that you kind of need on that Vayne, that Bork, that Phantom Dancer, and that last Whisper. So just doing a ton of damage there, especially once you get the Silver Bullet proc. So I mean, it's going to be who can set up the AD carry to do the most damage in these team fights here. Who can peel the most. So I'd say in terms of that, I think Fellowship of the Nerds actually has that advantage, just with the Maokai able to just point and click onto the Vayne. They're going to be able to lock her up pretty easily there, and the Braum doing a lot of peel himself. So I do like it so far, but I mean, in terms of positioning, they're going to have to pick the right fights. Cho is good. He's going to have to hold on to that Glacial Fissure a little bit longer. He's been pretty trigger happy with that thus far, and he's been kind of using it in not the most optimal times, especially when people are trying to dive his carry in the backline. It's already on cooldown. Not a lot he can do at that point.
Flash going to be a huge summoner for Harablo on the Maokai to be able to get back to the Vayne. You really need to flash. There's no really way for Maokai. The Twisted Advance doesn't have that huge range. You're going to have to flash Twisted Advance. And even if the Vayne ends up taking down Harablo, if Team Maya is out of the fight, I actually have pretty good faith in the rest of Fellowship of the Nerds to take down the engage force of Hannah Petrel and BBB. BBB not having the Zhonya's complete just yet. Just few hundred gold away from that being completed, so I'm pretty confident that after they can live through the initial wave of initiation, after the equalizers all through the slicing maelstrom, as long as Team Maya is busy, I'm pretty confident that Fellowship Nerds could clean it up.
So this Maokai building more MR again. He's going with the Spectre's Cowl there. Probably going to be going towards the Banshee's Veil. I mean, I would like to see something picked up to help counter this Vayne. She's just doing so much damage, but I mean, you also kind of got to respect the Kennen. A Warden's Mail finally coming out for Braum on him, but oh, nice cocoon landing on a hand ring.
The wall going to dissuade the rest of the team from going. The Glacial Fissure going to go down, run top the Equalizer. The Slicing Maelstrom not coming out yet. The flash in behind Petrel. He still has the Zhonya's available. Baby Chog going to go down, this main damage source for Fellowship of the Nerds. Harablo going to find himself 1v5. Henry going to insack him just to pick up that kill, and that is a huge catch, even with the disengage coming out, able to pick up Baby Trog right off the bat. All summoners used for Fellowship of the Nerds. Harablo still having his available, but unfortunately he is dead, so not going to be able to quite put those to use. Now looking towards Baron is Notice Me Senpai. Huge fight for them, and just the engage is just too much for Fellowship of the Nerds to handle.
It's like that Braum pass. It's like those Braum packs were a bait for Tristana there to step up to the front line and immediately Impressive lands the hook, capitalizes the rest of the team. Team Maya ripping through the team, and Kennen and Team Maya pick up the ball.
Baby Chug really can't afford to be that close to the front line, regardless of how safe she feels. She really is not safe. The Cocoon barely not landing as well as the Winter Bright onto Impressive Boy. Just gonna be able to get away from that one. BBB on the outside of the pit gonna get away, but the TP is in. The home guards as well. Team Maya gonna get locked up. Parablo in the back of this. Chosegood and Jay Frazier are in the wings. Not enough damage coming out right away. Jay Frazier trailing too far behind. Team Maya still teeing away on Chosegood. Eventually gonna go down. Hannah Trail is gonna go down eventually, but Team Maya is there. The damage from Bozegood. The stun gonna land. The Flash Frost from Anivia going to lock up Team Maya, and that is actually a huge swing. The two main damage sources from Nozomi Senpai are down. This inhibitor is in danger. Parablo still wants more. The stun going to land onto Impressive Boy. Henry's Banshee Veil going to get popped. The Sonic going to use, and the Flash from BBB going to be able to get away from that one. Now overheated. Unfortunately, not going to have a shield or any sort of speed up. Baby Trog going to pick up that one, rejoining the fight after being dead. Now catching this one. This might be game. If they have enough minions, these death timers are a little bit long. BBB gone for 35 seconds, but Hannah Patrell, 10 seconds. Team Maya, 15. Probably not going to be enough to finish. Might not even get another turret, but that was just a bit of a back and forth. A good re-engage by Harablo with the TP to at least salvage something from that dismal fight in the mid lane.
Absolutely, and I mean, unfortunately the wave's not exactly in the favor of Fellowship of the Nerds right now. They're kind of just pushed in a little bit. So it was a really great pickup there, picking up the kills, picking up the inhibitor there, as well as Dragon is live right now, so it looks like they're going to pick that up too. So that's going to probably be good just to dissuade the 5 dragons there. Henry kind of getting forced out, and they're going to pick up that dragon, absolutely. So no real contest there as everyone's kind of forced in their own base. So it's going to buy a lot of time for Fellowship of the Nerds here, which they need to kind of wear out this Baron right now, as the waves are going to be on their side in terms of having that inhibitor in the top lane and nothing really pushing in too far into their base right now.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty scary for Fellowship of the Nerds. They can't really posture 5v5. If they do want to posture 5v5, I don't think it's a great idea to start with, but if they do want to do it, they have to be really careful. Baby Trog cannot be in hook range at all of Impressive Boy, like the last fight in the mid lane went down. Just can't happen. Even if you're in the back and it takes you a second to get to the fight, that's how it's got to happen as an ADC. Baby Trog just getting a little bit too unhappy there. 10-3-2. Wild Turtle. Frontline AD carry confirmed. Does have the Banshee's Veil now picked up. 4th item. That's going to be huge. Still no Last Whisper, doesn't really need it, but now there is the Randuin's Omen picked up for Lee Sin. The first bit of armor coming out really at all for Notice Me Senpai.
I think that the Banshee's Veil is just in case that Baby Truck gets a little too excited and does stuff, and he can step into the front line and can soak up that hook from the Nocturne just in case. I mean, Nautilus.
Yeah, give him a 1 free shot there. So with the armor coming out there, I would like to see a Zeke come out from one of the teams here to hopefully enable those carries, because those are going to be the ones that are going to really do or die in the fight here. But a lot of damage coming out so far onto Impressive Boy.
Impressive Boy getting Flash Frost is going to be stunned in place. Henry not finding that Sonic Wave, not going to be able to engage. That's a lot of damage onto the main initiate from Impressive Boy. If he's able to hook in but dies right away, you know, as long as he gets a hook onto not Baby Trog or Jay Frazier, it's really not going to add much. They really need to wait for the super minion wave in the top lane to start pushing in to really be able to be here. This is a pretty bad spot for them, actually. If they were to get initiated on right now, it would be pretty bad. Nozomi Senpai able to clean up the fight relatively quickly without losing anything to super minions would be huge. Hannah Patrol on the side. They're going to kick Jay Frazier in the middle of the fight. He's going to go down. He's going to flash out. Not going to go down. Just on the side of that equalizer. Hannah Patrol in the back line. Slicing Maelstrom. The Rebirth is available for Jay Frazier. Going to live through this one. Parablo taking as much as he can. Team Maya in the back, untouched. Going to look to lock him up, but it looks like Baby Trog is full health. He's going to be able to pump out as much damage as he wants. Does have the reset if he wants it. He's going to take it. Does have the double kill for himself. Then the safeguard to get away from that one by Henry. And this might be the game. They need the minions. They do have the super minions on the top side. This looks like this will be it. The death time is just too long. Great game by Fellowship of the Nerds. Baby Trog looking for more. Hopefully he doesn't get too crazy, doesn't execute himself and something crazy happens, but don't see that happening. Jay Frazier, actually the main initiation for Notice Me Senpai, focusing on him. Camry going to flash kick him into the enemy, into his own team. Unfortunately having the passive up now is huge for that fight. Guys, what a huge game that was. Fellowship of the Nerds. To be able to bring that back, give that performance. Close game, but really well played by those guys.
Man, that was way better team play from Fellowship of the Nerds this game than last game. Last game, they were kind of just in their lanes waiting to be kind of picked off by Notice Me Senpai, but this time they had some great rotational play, able to get some great catches and shut down key members. They didn't let Team Maya kind of snowball out of control in the early game there. Didn't let Hannah Petrell kind of be 1v1ing Jay Frazier. So it turns out the Anivia pick did do a lot more work there, as well as, I mean, the Tristana, she just took off there, 12, 3, and 4, 269 CS. Just put out so much damage, and especially in that last fight, just nobody focused her. She was able just to go off on that team fight, and just took over and got the win for him in the end there.
Just like you said, a lot better team play, and you saw Herablo make those TP plays this game. You didn't see any of those last game, and you just saw maybe Jay Frazier on a much more comfortable champion, maybe off meta as we talked about before, but comfort, and it ended up paying off. He flashed the mastery after a couple outplays, and got Baby Trog in his carry pants.
Having a Nivea passive counts as an outplay, right?
Yes, yes it does.
Okay.
I didn't see it. I wanted the TP so bad, but he didn't take the TP in the end, and so I wish I would have seen some TP egg plays.
So troll. Going
So
that
troll.
egg able to TP away, pretty troll. But I think the exhaust served them a little bit better here. Could add some global pressure to TP, but Herablo doing enough in that regards. The big thing to that fight was at the end. It looked pretty actually abysmal for Fellowship of the Nerds. A lot of low members, but then Herablo was like, oh yeah, my job's to lock up Team Maya. Does so, and Baby Trog somehow full health, just like sitting back there, happy as can be. Ends up 12, 3, and 4. Pretty big carry for his team, able to finish that one up pretty nicely. That doing his job.
For sure, yeah. Great game coming in from both teams here. Finishing 1-1 in this series so far. So yeah, I mean, both very strong contenders so far in this tournament.
Right, okay guys, we're going to wrap this one up. That is week 2, day 2, with Notice Me Senpai versus Fellowship of the Nerds, splitting that one 1-1. Pretty good games, a little bit more one side the first game, but definitely a barn burner in the second one, finishing up victory for Fellowship of the Nerds. Guys, just some things to mention. Coming up this weekend, we are going to be at the Saskatoon Comic and Entertainment Expo on the 18th and 19th. That's Saturday and Sunday. That's 19th and 20th, sorry. Make sure you come check us out. We're going to have a booth, SKL. You can meet all the casters. You can meet Pawnox, Silky Mittens, Crafty Buckeye. You meet all the guys. You meet the guys behind the camera, Skill Oz, Cadence, Zoom as well. Make sure you come and say hi. We're going to have a booth right by the door, right by the bathrooms. You really can't miss us. You're going to be walking by us. You're going to be sick of us by the end of the weekend, hopefully. Come check us out. We're going to have some sick swag. We're going to have some giveaways as well. I know we got a brand new keyboard to give away, as long as you're liking us on social media and entering into this one. We also have some 1v1 stuff. If you want to come 1v1 Dezaninator on that Draven, come show him a thing or two. Definitely come do it.
Mid-open.
Yeah, absolutely. We're also going to have a raffle that you can win that keyboard on, so make sure you come sign up for that kind of stuff. You can also follow us on social media, guys. We do have lots of social media. We have Facebook. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Saskatchewan League. You can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/SK_League. And you can also go like our Reddit and join us on there for lots of cool discussion. We're on the subreddit SK League. Our website as well for all the latest scores, the upcoming schedule, the latest game results as well, skleague.ca. We also have a Patreon. If you guys want to support us, we're just starting out. It'd be a huge help. We really need all the help we can get trying to get this up and coming to you guys. We do have a community page as well, just started up. So make sure you support us on Patreon. And yeah, so just make sure you support the guys, and we'll try and return the favor. We do have a lot of sponsors. Just before we sign up here, guys, we have to mention as well, big sponsor, shout out to HyperX as well, giving us a lot of free swag and some stuff that we're going to be giving away as prizes to the teams that do well in SK League. We also want to thank Matrix Gaming. That's where our semifinals and finals are going to be held in Regina come November, I do believe. So make sure you come check us out there. Matrix Gaming, the biggest LAN center in all of Saskatchewan, I do believe. Check them out. They got all the latest gear, great computers. If you're looking to game and you're in Regina, go check out Matrix Gaming. Also want to thank Widemouth Media. All this awesome graphics and stuff you see on stream, that's all done by them. If you want anything, any events, you want weddings, you want anything done, graduations, you want videos made, you want any sort of graphics, I believe they do content creation as well, making logos and such. Definitely check them out. I'm pretty been talking for a long time. So you guys got anything to say here?
No, just make sure you guys come check us out tomorrow. We're going to have Thunder Ducks versus the Lamb of 4 Times. So that's going to be a pretty heated match between the two teams there. They're both doing very well. Thunder Ducks completely undefeated so far. So make sure you come stop by, check that out. It's going to start up at around 7. So yeah, I've been Pawnox, here with Silky Mittens.
See you later, guys.
And Crafty Buckeye.
GG, well played.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys tomorrow.